Knowledge Valley for government exams. My name is Ryan Pinto, and today I am going to give you the news on 14th of November. This initiative is brought to you for giving you news in short so that is in 15 to 20 minutes so that you can save your time and get the news which is important for the day. First of all, I would like to wish you all the uh, for the birthday of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Happy Children's Day. Let's continue with the news. Today's news, the most important news is England winning the T20, the seventh edition of the T20 World Cup in Australia, that is Australia 2022. So England has won the World Cup. Congratulations for England. England and Pakistan played the finals yesterday, that is 13th of November. So if you see the Hindu newspaper, November 14, 2022, that is today's news. So the first news that we are going to touch upon is G20 summit to focus on food, energy security. So we have seen yesterday also we had seen G20 meeting is going on in Bali, that is Indonesia, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will leave for Bali, and he is going to have a lot of meetings to be held in Bali, as India is going to be the president, or they can India is going to take the chair of the G20 for the next 1 year. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi will leave for Bali on Monday to attend the G20 summit on November 15 and 16. Food and energy security and post COVID health issues will be at the top of the agenda in the session at the summit in Indonesian city. uh, so you must understand, food, energy security and G20 is the news um, today. Democrats retain the control of US Senate. So we have seen a lot of interesting news on elections in United States of America. Especially, there was a talk that the Senate will be taken over by by the Republicans, but the Democrats have retained the control of US Senate. Important name that you must remember is Catherine Cortez Masto. She was considered to be a weak link, but she won, and this gave a good stronghold of the Democrats in the Senate. We also have Supreme Court fining the center for not filing reply to the petition. Some academicians, we had seen the Wire and various news channels were in their management, there were search operations, or they were searched, and a lot of investigating authorities, the government was there in their offices, etc. So the academicians had asked what is the procedure, on what basis, which the government was not able to answer. Supreme Court has given a fine on them, on the center, for not filing reply to the petition. So this is the third important news. So the on the next news, that is civic elections, then can the city's trash towers be flattened? So in Delhi there are going to be city elections, like we are going to see BMC elections and MBMC, Mira Bhayandar Municipal Corporation, and Vasai Virar. So there are a lot of important places civic elections which are going to happen. Delhi also, New Delhi is going to go for civic elections in the near future. The next news important is planning for mid-term poll in Maharashtra has begun in Delhi. So remarking that Maharashtra's politics has become highly unstable, Shiv Sena, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray spokesperson and MP Sanjay Raut on Sunday took a jibe at the BJP center, that is the ruling party which is in the center, that it is planning for holding midterm elections in the state. The planning has begun in Delhi. So this is a political news, and there is you can say attacks and counter attacks on the political parties. Kiran Chaudhary calls for unity in Haryana Congress. So we are seeing news on cricket, we are seeing news on G20, and political news which is happening in Delhi as well as in Maharashtra. So here we have an advertisement by the Rajasthan government on Jawaharlal Nehru, whose birthday is there today. Two TRS MLAs approach police saying they are getting threatening calls. So recently we had seen the TRS government had alleged that BJP is trying to buy its MLAs in Telangana. So now the TRS MLAs have approached police saying that they are getting threatening calls. So you have to remember this. Punjab bans public, that is firearms, public display of songs on weapons. So a lot of culture of violence and drugs have cropped up in the recent past in Punjab. The Punjab government has banned all this at the moment. Then we have 20% of fuel used in brick kilns to be one second to be paddy straw. Okay, so 20% of the fuel used in the brick kilns. So there are brick kilns where bricks are made in Punjab. Paddy straw is going to be used for these brick kilns. So we had seen a lot of paddy or stubble being burnt, because of which pollution is caused in Delhi and close by areas. Now government is trying various ways to reduce this pollution and use the stubble in the best possible use. Marwadi horses exported for the first time to serve in Bangladesh president's entourage. So we have horses going from Rajasthan Marwar area to Bangladesh president's entourage. Then we have the next important news, that is editorials. Editorials will be covered in the other videos. In text and context, we have new regulations for awarding PhDs. Will the University Grants Commission move to remove the mandatory requirements to publish a research paper, reduce pressure on doctoral scholars? What led to the need to introduce new rules? So there are new rules which have come up for awarding PhDs. You need to look at those rules. Why has France ended its military operation in Sahel? Sahel, which is in Africa, one of the world's poorest areas, poorest countries of the world are there, which was earlier colonies of France. Now France has ended its military operations there. That's another news which is there, which is important. Are in science and technology, or where technology is based, are data localization requirements necessary and proportionate? Most countries mandate data created within their borders to remain stored within their borders. Such stringent laws, while allowing governments and their law enforcement agencies to work more efficiently, will result in hindrance of global trade and increase the operational cost of business. On one side we have national interest, on the other side we have the international global interests. So this is the news which is there in The Hindu. No government reply to plea on search and seizure. As I had told you, a group of academicians had filed a petition in the Supreme Court demanding guidelines on search and seizure of electronic devices by agencies, days after Delhi police conducted searches at the news portal Wire and its editor's residence. Court imposes 25,000 rupees fine on center for no reply. Himachal Pradesh records 75.6% voters turnout, beats 2017 figure. Another very important news, strengthening of our democracy. Our Chief Justice of India, U. Lalit, and currently we know D.Y. Chandrachud has become the Chief Justice. Our ex-Chief Justice of India, U. Lalit, says collegium system of appointing judges is perfect. Collegium system includes the Chief Justice and senior judges of the Supreme Court and the President. Population criterion for new Eklavya schools impractical, says parliamentary panel. So the Tribal Affairs Ministry, so there are Eklavya schools which are open for the tribals. So the Tribal Affairs Ministry plans to go ahead with the to build new Eklavya model residential schools on 15 acres of land in all sub districts which have scheduled tribes of more than 20,000 people who make up at least 50% or who make up at least 50% of their total population, despite a parliamentary panel saying such criterion will be impractical. So Eklavya schools, you have to remember, they are schools for the tribal welfare, and keeping population and these criterias, it will be difficult to open Eklavya schools benefiting the tribals. So these are another important news. BJP faces protest rebellion as senior leaders denied ticket for Gujarat Assembly election. Also in Himachal Pradesh and Gujarat, BJP is facing a lot of protest and dissent among itself. Bharat Jodo Yatra will ensure center is accountable. Accountability is a very key important principle which the government has to follow, and opposition needs to be strong. Bharat Jodo Yatra will be doing that. That is what Congress is saying. So diamond workers in Surat are very interested in AAP's promises. Another important news: extra regional fishing fleets present in Indian Ocean, tells the Navy. So in what the Navy has come across is there are Chinese ships which are present in the Indian Ocean. More than 200 Chinese fishing vessels have been monitored in the Indian Ocean in the first half of this year, according to the Indian Navy, even as illegal, unreported, and unregistered, unregulated fishing continues to rise beyond India's EEZ exclusive economic zone. Most of the illegal activities are found in the northern Indian Ocean region. Okay, so a lot of Chinese ships are being seen also in the Indian Ocean. Illegal fishing is also rising. Indian business groups are a rising presence at COP27. COP27 is for climate change conference of parties. So COP27 is happening at Sharm el Sheikh, and very important. There are going to be a lot of path breaking decisions which are going to be taken, and this is the need of the hour because climate change is, you can say, the emergency of the day. Finding Indian languages equivalent for selfie drones. So there are new technologies and new inventions coming up. So the Commission for Science and Technical Terminology has a mandate to. So just you have to remember this commission's name. That is Commission for Scientific and Technical Terminology. So they have the work of finding out new names in Hindi for these terms like selfie, drones, etc. In money wise, how the Supreme Court ruling affects your pension payouts. The Supreme Court gave some employees a window of opportunity to opt for the employees pension scheme, a scheme guaranteed by Government of India. So the Supreme Court has allowed the people to opt for employee pension scheme. Biden will seek red lines in talks with Xi today. As I have told you, G20 meet is happening in Bali. In the next, from December 1st to the next year, India is going to be its chair. It is going to be headed by India. Today, the G20 meet is in Bali, where Biden might be speaking with China. Another important news, a sad one: 6 killed, dozens injured in Istanbul bomb blast. India condoles loss of lives. And in sport, very important, we had seen important sport was the England cricket team has won the T20 World Cup. Kerala Blasters defeated FC Goa in the IPL, that is the football league which is happening. So this was the news. Yes, Spain going in the right direction under Enrique. So we have Iniesta, one of the former Andres Iniesta, one of the former player of Spain. His colleague Luis Enrique is the coach of Spain, and Iniesta is supporting his friend. And we have some local sports news. So we have seen a lot of news on G20 and cricket and politics. Okay, so thank you for listening. Have a nice day.